Okay, have you heard of the Republican presidential candidate? His name is Ron Paul, and he says that starting in his first week in office, if elected, he will abolish the IRS and do away with income tax. What are your thoughts?
Well, it'd be a great thing if it's possible. I believe that we should have a flat tax, if nothing else, because there's too many rules and regulations, and nobody truly knows what the IRS is really doing. So if it was possible, I'd be all for it.
Ron Paul, do you know who Ron Paul is?
No.
Ron Paul is one of the Republican presidential candidates who says that starting in his first week when elected, he will begin the process of abolishing the IRS and doing away with income taxes. What are your thoughts?
Well, I'd like to see his plan on how to support civil services. People say everything they want, but what is the plan? And his plan to start within a week after he's elected doesn't seem to add up. If he truly believed that they should have been abolished, where's the plan been for the past? How many years he's been serving our country as he's been elected? So people with these type of quick schemes make me very suspicious.
Okay. You mentioned civil service. Are you aware that only the income tax that's paid, that only amounts to about 1/3 of the money that comes into the government? So if, I don't know, maybe the government could, decrease their spending by 1/3, then it would balance out. What are your thoughts on that?
Again, I need more information on that. It doesn't surprise me that it's only 1/3. I do think there's a lot of surplus spending, yet I don't know where it's at.
What are your thoughts on the Republican presidential candidate, Ron Paul? Do you know who Ron Paul is?
Ron Paul? No, I've never heard of him.
Ron Paul's the guy that his platform so far is that starting in the first week, if he's elected, he will begin immediate proceedings to abolish the IRS and do away with income tax.
Yeah, I like that idea.
I like that idea too.
Go with the flat tax or a sales tax and forget about the income tax. That would be more fair, seems to me.
You guys know who Ron Paul is?
Ron Paul. No.
Ron Paul is a Republican presidential candidate who says that if elected, starting in his first week in office, he'll immediately start to abolish the IRS and end income taxes. What are your thoughts?
I think that's a pretty good idea.
That sounds good.
The country makes the money so they can make enough money to run the country. We don't have to pay for it.
And what do you say, to people that say that he's just doing that as a ploy to get elected and that maybe he won't follow through?
You can only judge people by what they do, so we can't judge until he doesn't do what he says he's going to do.
How many lives would be impacted if something were to happen to where, we did see the end of the IRS?
How many lives would be impacted if we saw everybody in the United States?
Is that something that you guys would love to see happen? I don't know if you guys have any kids or not, but is that something you'd like to see happen at least for them?
That they don't spend 1/3 of their year paying taxes? Yeah, I'd like to see that for them.
It's interesting that you bring up 1/3 because I don't know if you guys realize it or not, but all the money that's generated from taxes, only 1/3, that makes up 1/3 of the money that comes into the government. So do you think maybe if the government could reduce their spending by 1/3, it would balance out the
surely.
The taxes?
Surely they could.
Ron Paul, one of the presidential Republican candidates, is talking about abolishing the income tax and the IRS altogether. What are your thoughts on that?
I want to abolish the cotton picking integrate, them jokers coming into the U.S. with no citizenship.
Oh, you want to talk about
immigration,
illegal immigrants coming across our border?
Bush out of the cotton picking White House.
Okay. What do you not like about Bush?
No, nothing but him. Lying all the way.
What do you like about him? There's an easier question.
See, you take Karl Rove as his pit bull. See what I mean?
Okay.
And get rid of Karl Rove, Cheney, and Connery's. Cheney not good either.
Who do you think would be the best suited for the White House to help the people?
Hillary.
Hillary?
Yeah.
Why?
Because she's a woman, one thing.
Why does that matter?
She's a Democrat.
Okay.
And get rid of them cotton-finger Republicans.
What's one thing that Hillary stands for that makes you like her?
Well, not like her looks.
So you think because she looks good, she should be president?
Yeah, that's right.
Am I supposed to smile?
Yeah. Well, let's talk about I'll tell you what about Ron Paul? Do you know who Ron Paul is?
No.
Ron Paul is the Republican presidential candidate that says that if he's elected, that in the first week he will start the process of doing away with the IRS and abolishing income tax. What are your comments or your thoughts on that?
Well, I don't know who he is, but so that can't bias. I don't have any prejudice there. My first reaction is without some revenue. I mean, I think we're in the toilet anyway, fiscally speaking. But take away revenue, however badly it's collected, then where are we going to be?
Well, do you know that only the income tax only actually accounts for like 1/3 of the money that comes into the government?
Oh? No, I didn't know that.
What if the government were to decrease their spending by 1/3? Then it would kind of even that out, wouldn't it?
What's the chance of that? May I pose a question to you?
Probably slim to none.
I think we're talking, that's like analogous to a camel going through the eye of a needle.